The conversation for today is first to look back over the last few months. Lots of challenges for businesses, lots of change. Tell me, Mark, what have you seen in the conversations you've had with your customers?
I mean, it's been a really challenging, 3, 4 months, like you say. And it's been interesting because, of course, there's never been anything like it really in business history, apart from like major wars. And even that, there's quite a significant difference in the way that's impacted business. It's been challenging. I talk to a lot of different CIOs, CEOs, IT directors in all kinds of businesses, from retail to manufacturing to financial services, and they're all obviously impacted in very different ways.
Mm.
So, some of those businesses, for instance, retail, it's been working to help them manage cash flow, manage cost, keep their businesses running. And as ever, of course, IT is even more critical now. Many of our customers, for example, their entire channel to market has become dependent on a website, on a cloud installation, etc., etc. But cash flow is king, and cash flow is really relevant when the footfall in a retail store has gone poor. So it's been working with them in terms of how can we help, how can we minimize those costs, how can we keep everything running, but also be as efficient as possible. But there's been flip sides to that, right? There's different industries. So if you take financial services as an example, different problems, different time view that they're taking on the problems that are likely to bring, and that's driving more activity. So I think they anticipate as many challenges coming their way, but it's not right now. And so, where I'm working with them is how can they take advantage of new technology? What new technology, for instance, cloud, SD-WAN, should they be looking at? Are they thinking about? Are they interested in? That is going to protect them against turbulent times that are likely ahead.
Okay.
And then you flip, I've got customers and that's been maybe the most challenging point for the last 3 months. Customers that we work with, talk to, who are in, for instance, the healthcare sector, or in, for instance, supermarkets. And there's been a very different conversation, a huge amount of activity, capacity, and need. And it's been about trying to cope with that, plan for that, and provide to that. So it's been a real mixed bag, challenging on all fronts. I guess the biggest concern from a service provider point of view is there is an unavoidable number of people having to pause and think carefully about their next steps. And obviously that creates a pause in our own business, a pause in the number of opportunities we can look at, a pause in a way to help customers because they're not in a position to make decisions.
Okay.
And that's the mixed bag that we've seen for the last 3 to 4 months. Very different with each customer, very different with each engagement that I've had.
So how are the next few months looking to you?
There's an evolution. I think first thing to say is many customers anticipate the current situation to carry on very similarly. So there'll be those who are very nervous. There'll be businesses that will clearly be seriously impacted for another 3 months. And I think everyone that I've talked to, this is at least a 12, 18-month journey, hopefully on an upward curve. So same topics do propagate through. I guess the change is we are seeing an acceleration, and I'm hearing much more engagement with people who are now wanting to move forward with projects. I think it's fair to say that any of the bigger projects, and those are projects with larger enterprises, went on hold the last 3 months. And it's the larger enterprises who have probably got the financial power to take a longer term view, who are starting to now talk about moving projects forward. Be that they think it will bring their competitive advantage to protect them in rough times ahead, be that it will bring financial benefits. Maybe it's something about the cash cycle, which again, everyone is extremely focused on, again, being that an insurance company or be that a retailer. But I think that's the difference I'm seeing already in the month of June. That was certainly starting to happen towards the last 2 weeks of June, and certainly going into July, we are seeing fires lit on new projects, new engagements, new opportunities. There's obviously issues of some people that's moving into new financial year, but I think generally there's a more willingness to, we now need to make a decision on a project, and we need to plan an engagement, and we need to push forward our own strategy.
How does this all look when it comes to cloud, both for businesses that are looking to migrate and those that already are in the cloud?
I mean, that's obviously the topic that I'm mostly concerned with, and when I'm meeting with any potential, partner, customer, supplier, um, or just a new, a new player in the market wants to talk to us. Um, I mean, cloud is a great enabler, and the things that made cloud attractive pre-COVID, pre-lockdown, are exactly the same things that are going to make it the right option for the right problem with a certain customer. Um, I try to dissuade all of my potential customers and existing customers that cloud is a cost-saving opportunity. Certainly not in the cost of your infrastructure that is running your IT for your business. I don't think you should think of it like that. In some cases it might, in many cases it won't, and that shouldn't be the primary aim for embracing cloud. Cloud is a great enabler of agility and speed. And what's important about the agility is the agility to embrace new technology. And that's what's really relevant right now working with our customers. Talking to a larger enterprise that wants to lift and shift its data center, do a rapid migration into the cloud. That's all about a journey to embrace new technologies. Yes, the day one project is not embracing new technology at all, save for putting it on a cloud infrastructure. It's about getting it into a place where it can be easily modified, improved, evolved, developed, and start taking advantage of the technologies, for instance, that the hyperscalers offer. If you have got any significant customer base, if you have got the need to interact with hundreds of thousands of customers in any way, data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, everyone knows these are the topics of the day, and you're certainly going to be able to embrace them enormously faster with your IT already in the cloud for all kinds of reasons. And that is the thrust of many, many of the conversations we're having. Certainly, we want to help people get into the cloud. I want to help them. I want to show them opportunities of how to do it efficiently. But it's all with a view to taking advantage of the things that the cloud will bring in the future. It's getting that journey underway. So we see a lot of the larger enterprises talking to us on that. We see a particularly huge interest in Azure, Microsoft's platform, and that's obviously very relevant for probably a Microsoft shop anyway. Someone who already has a big relationship with Microsoft, works with them every day, and Azure is an obvious go-to to start getting your IT in a significant way, and I mean all of it in the end, into the cloud, to take the journey onwards from the cloud. That said, the flip side to your question is, what about people who've already got a lot of stuff in the cloud? That's where we're really embracing how do we get you cloud native? How do we get you past the lift and shift that you did, or the small 10% of your e-commerce that we've helped you get into AWS? How do we now really get volume in there and bring our cloud native skills and start delivering some of that competitive advantage you believe the cloud should bring you? There, today, the most exciting conversations, and it is post-COVID relevant conversations, is how do we make customers make better use of data? Cloud brings an enormous capability to process, manage, and get value out of data because of the scale of the compute you can apply to a problem, and the way you can treat data differently on a turn up, turn down, flexible infrastructure. So topics such as big data, data lakes, the ways that we can use unstructured data to give you rapid reporting. They're the exciting cloud native benefits that we talk to and that the customers are really interested in. And of course, they need to be in the cloud to even start those conversations, really. So they're the two ends of it. We're embracing customers who want to start making the journey to cloud, trying to help them. We're getting a lot of interest and a lot of conversations, both with AWS and Microsoft, of bigger customers who want to take big moves in the next 12 months and move big proportions of their IT to a public cloud platform. Then we're having a lot of engagements about taking the next step. How do I start getting cloud native technology to make a difference here? I.e., I want to know how my 500 stores across the UK performed yesterday in an hour, not in 3 days. And I need a huge data solution for that. And cloud is the perfect place to do it.
Well, there's a lot to consider in there. So let's meet up again in a few months' time to consider how the situation is evolving.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks very much
Thanks
for
a
the
lot,
call
Mark.
back.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.